host Chinmayi and this is Potato. So today I'm going to be speaking to you about my birth story. So I did mention on my social media pages that I had a C-section, and of course there were people who immediately asked, why C-section, why not normal? Well, I had twins, number one, and both my gynecologists, both Dr. Manipriya Arun, in case I decided to give birth in Chennai, or Dr. Manjula, in case I decided to give birth in Hyderabad, they pushed as much as they could so that I could have a normal delivery. However, the positioning of my babies made that impossible, and at one point in time we could no longer delay giving birth. So that is why exactly I went about having a C-section, and it was a very, very interesting experience as far as I'm concerned. I was, Dr. Kamala Anagani was the anesthetist, and I have known her for a very long time, not only as Dr. Manjula Anagani's sister, but also as a brilliant doctor in her own right. So a couple of times, that I have met her, she's always been this really nice, vociferous, boisterous, fun sort of a person. And here she was like, hey, I'm your anesthetist. I'm like, really? Okay, that's fun. I played the music that I wanted to play in the OT, and Dr. Vittal, the pediatrician, was also there, making sure that I was okay. And I think the day before that I was to give birth, I think somebody came and asked me, Madam, what are you expecting? Are you expecting two boys or two girls, or a boy and a girl? I said, isn't it a bit too late to have that discussion? It's not as if we are going to, things are going to change magically now. So I think they were just trying to make conversation, and it was kind of cute. And I think until that point, it also perhaps because I had a miscarriage prior to that, I was trying very hard not to get too attached to this entire experience of being pregnant. And I think it was there at the back of my mind that until and unless I have a safe delivery, I shouldn't be talking about this. Also, my gynecologist wasn't too, she was also advising the same, that just keep this quiet as far and as much and as long as you can. Of course, when people know, they will know, because it's going to be visible. This is not something that you can really hide. But I think I managed to keep it out of everybody's gaze and discussion and topic very successfully, even though I did land up at recordings and even had making videos done. But I used to be seated in a manner that and I would tell them to only take videos up till here. So thankfully, there were a few people who had maintained my confidence. I had actually had a press meet of sorts at Deep Skin Dialogues, Hyderabad, very much in May, in the mid or end of May. And I had told everybody who were a part of the press here in Hyderabad that, take all those photographs above my waist and make sure that this never gets reported until I safely deliver. Everybody understood, everybody was super kind, and even after that, for weeks together, you didn't see one gossip, kisi item. Not one journalist wrote that Chinmayi and Rahul are expecting, or Chinmayi is pregnant or something like that. Of course, when I was not at all pregnant, everybody started making these clickbaity videos and stuff, but I have a deep and profound respect for the journalists in Hyderabad who had come there for the press meet itself. They made sure that the angles that they were taking those videos and interviews of me were exactly as I expected, and everybody was so sensitive and highly understanding. And except I think this one or two ladies that I saw, everybody were gentlemen, and nobody wrote about it. Nobody wrote about my pregnancy, and I was just going to be, I think from that day on, I was going to deliver in any time between 4 and 6 weeks. So I was that close. So anybody would have been able to find out. And I was also wearing a pretty loose dress that day. And I think by the end of my pregnancy, it was very clear. If people had a little bit of experience, they would have known even from my speaking that I was getting a little breathless, even with my singing and my talking as well. So thereafter, I think in the operation theatre, I was playing my favorite music. And then at one point, Dr. Manjula said, okay, Anni Apandi, now Chinmayi sing. Annaru. I was like, what? I mean, I didn't know you could sing when you were under an epidural and everything like that. She said, just sing. I want your babies to listen to your voice first. So I blanked out completely, and then out of the blue, I just thought of a bhajan. I don't know why I thought of the bhajan or why it struck me, but I sang that bhajan. It is this lovely bhajan sung originally by Bhimsen Joshi ji and Lata ji. It is a Ram bhajan, interestingly. So I sang that, and I have a video of my babies being born. Of course, I'm not going to share that on social media or anything. That's strictly for myself and my family. Also, it might be a bit too graphic for people to see. That's just for me. So Rahul was really, really emotional. He shed a few tears. It was very, very intense for him. And I think I had to keep saying, Rahul, focus on this. We need this, we need that. So that was really nice. I think it was as soon as I saw both of my babies, it was quite something for me. I think I didn't know how to process this feeling, or I don't know what I was feeling when I saw my babies for the first time. As soon as I heard them cry, and then the girl baby had this very bun-like face. I mean, for lack of a better, she was so round and damn cute. And the boy, I think from the beginning, he had this very disapproving look. He looks like this at everybody. Okay, what are you up to? Why? You know, he has that constantly crinkled eyebrows and highly judgmental face, and that is my son and my daughter. And I'm still getting used to this saying I have kids and I am a mom and I have a son and a daughter. And it's just like how, you know, somebody is newly married and they're like, oh, my husband, and you're like, who, what, Mrs. Who's Mrs. sort of a thing. I had a beautiful birth experience with Dr. Manjula Anagani and her entire team. I think healing from the C-section, I think for the first 2 days was really, really difficult on me. Maybe because of the gastritis I developed, but thereafter Dr. Manjula helped me manage it really well, and after that it was a complete breeze. I started, they did tell me to start walking around almost on the same day of the surgery so that, you know, my healing is faster. And walking, matlab, I'm not supposed to be walking on a 30-minute walk, but just, you know, just taking one step after the another in the hospital. And the nurses were really, really sweet, very, very supportive. I think from there, about 10 days down the line, we slowly started, 10 or 15 days down the line, I think we slowly started taking the dogs down for a walk. And now I don't even know if I mean, it's almost as if I didn't even have a surgery. So of course I do make sure that I'm taking all the precautions and stuff like that. People tell me don't play around with water too much or work around in water, because I'm very active around the house, especially with cleaning. I have an OCD. I'm Monica Geller. So all of that. So that has been my birth story, and I will tell you what I'm doing postpartum, which is now in my next video. Until then, this is Chinmayi saying bye-bye.